It appears it's time to dip my feet into the waters of working on this Cadillac. This is our newest car. It's a 2020 Cadillac XT6. It's got about 33,000 miles on it, and the battery has gone dead. I brought it to Cadillac and had them diagnose the issue. We were having a StabiliTrak warning light or service StabiliTrak message that came up on the instrument cluster after the auto stop function would stop the car and then start the car again. And what I researched online pointed to a failing battery. Brought it into Cadillac because the car is still under a 1-year service warranty for the that came with the car when I purchased it used, and they agree. They told me I need a new battery, but they wanted to charge me $436 to replace the AGM battery in this vehicle. It's an H7 type battery. You can find them anywhere, and I got this one. It's AGM H7, and I bought it at Walmart for $179 with a $12 core charge. So I'm going to replace it, and I'll show you how to do it. First thing I'm going to do is just check it. The workshop manual for this vehicle, actually the workshop manual for the XT5, I don't have the XT6 version, lists specifications for battery state of charge, and says that the battery after sitting for 12 hours should be at about 12.7 minimum volts. The car currently has been sitting in our garage for about 12 hours and it's at 12.39, and we drove it pretty extensively yesterday. It should be fully charged, and you can see it's 12.39, and I'll pop a picture of their diagram in the workshop manual up on the screen and show you what that equates to as far as percent of charge from the workshop manual, what they think. Okay, the tools you're going to need to do this job are a 10 millimeter for a couple of these tie downs here, here, and then 14 millimeter with an extension to get this battery hold down that's down in here. 10 millimeter for the posts, and then we'll just need to take apart some of this the fuse terminal off the top of the positive. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is undo these 10 millimeter 1, 2, and 3 here on these hold downs. Now we'll just pull this top one up and off. Now at the side of the battery towards the driver's side, we'll get this one hidden one in here. Okay, to get this cross brace off right here, it won't lift up from this side because you have to pull up on this, this is the ECM, or the computer over here, engine module. So you just pull straight up on it. You take this module right here and you pull straight up, and you see it comes off, and then you can take this brace out. You can just leave this tie down post will be just hanging there, and that's fine. You just leave it there out of the way. Over at the back of the battery, there's one more 10 millimeter here. So you can get this plate out, and then this plate will pull straight out. At the front of the battery, down in this crevice here, there's a 14 millimeter. So I'll try to get a shot of that. It's right down there. And so you'll need a long extension to get to that one. Okay, so we did all that in order to get access to the actual battery to take it out. Now we need to disconnect the electrical, so we'll start with the negative. And we'll just use a 10 millimeter here. loosen up that negative cable, and then you can pull it straight off and try to set it aside. This cable over here, or this little connection, might not let you, so you can disconnect that. Okay, here's that little connector, and you can see at the back there's this red pin. Usually it's engaged in there. You just got to pry that out to the back, and then you press on the black bit back here, right there, and if you squeeze that, this connection will come out. On the positive side, we have to remove this plastic cover to see what we're looking at. So there's a push clip here, and then another one hidden underneath this red flap. So you put that up and you press right here, and you press on both those and lift up, this piece will come up. Now there's a 10mm right here which we'll need to disconnect, and you can help yourself out by getting a thin screwdriver and kind of pry the two arms apart a little bit to make it loose. Once this cover is loose, you can just move it out of the way. That'll help. Okay, so they really didn't want this distribution block to come up very easily. So what I've got is I've got a plastic clip here holding this side out. So this whole block grabs onto the battery and holds onto it. So I had to pull the clips on this side out and wedge this plastic piece in there, and then I did the same thing for the back. Wedge this really thin screwdriver in there, as there's two of them back there, and then on this side I'm able to get my fingers in there and wedge those ones out, and now hopefully I'll be able to get this distribution block off the top of the battery. There we go. Okay, so now it's loose at the back, this side and the back. It's being held on just a little bit over here, maybe by some of these wires. So it's just going to take a little fiddling, probably, to get it up the rest of the way. There we go. There. Now it's up, and you can kind of lift it off like this. Here to set it aside, and the battery will be coming out this way. So it should be able to, I'll probably get just a bungee to hold this up like that. Now we can take the battery out. So it's going to be heavy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some room over here, and I'm going to put down a towel or a cloth here so I can set it down on that. So I got my towel set up on the front of the car, and I'll try to lift this thing out without interfering with too much stuff. Okay, it's definitely loose. Tilt it. Like that. Okay. And out it comes. Okay, and if you're wondering, this is a 3786 AC Delco 730 cold cracking amps. And I believe this is the original battery that came with the vehicle, and I'm replacing it with this EverStart AGM H7 850 cold cracking amps. And so you can see that they are in fact the same size. While you got the battery out, it's a good idea to vacuum out the tray. There'll probably be a bunch of leaves and debris down there. Alright, don't forget to check for the plug. So this factory battery has a plug on the positive side for the gases, the vent gases. Now it's not plugged on the negative side, it's just, there's a hole there. But it is plugged on the positive side, so I'm going to plug the new one. And on this little terminal cover that comes with the battery, they give you a plug. That's what this little piece is for. And so you just rip that off of its little plastic posts, and there's your plug. Okay, now that the battery tray is all cleaned out, we'll go back in with the new one. And while I had the battery out, I removed these two pieces of plastic. This is the hold down for the battery, and so you need to remove those. And you put the positive side in first, towards the back of the car. Oh, and then there it is. She's in. Okay, and these hold downs, basically we will put this back on like so. It goes like basically this bottom piece goes towards the front of the car, this L, and then this sits on top of it, and then the bolt goes down through. So it goes in just like that. Okay, and that's what it should look like down there. This top piece will engage with the edge of the battery to hold it down, and then I have to put the bolt down through the hole there. Okay, I throw the bolt down through the hole just like that. Okay, I'm not going to tighten it all the way down because I want to make sure that this distribution block over here is going to sit properly. Take this battery positive protector off and release this, and then push this distribution block down. Oh, and a nice click. It should click right into place, and the should go right around the post, and there you go. Now this post nut, 10mm, is 4.5 Newton meters. So just tighten that down. It's very little. If you don't have a torque wrench that goes down to 4.5 Newton meters, just, you don't have to tighten it a lot, just so that it's on there and it's not loose. And we'll close this cap here, get this back in place. You got to move this piece of metal to the aft to get it out of the way, and then just should go pretty much straight down and clip into place with this clip at the front and the clip at the side here underneath this red cover. Then you can close the red cover. Next we'll connect our negative terminal. I'll connect this little cable before I connect it. Pushing that in and then reseating that red little tab. And go straight down. I'm actually going to remove the black post plastic, and then go straight back down onto this. Tighten up this 10mm. And just like the other one, this will get torqued down to 4.5 Newton meters. Then we'll put the bracketry back into place. First starting with this piece that slides down over here. There's a 10mm nut that goes on top of this far post at the back. And then this long piece that goes crossways goes underneath this piece of plastic and then onto this post here at the back side. And then you can push this engine computer back down onto this post. We'll take a 10mm nut, put it on that post, 10mm bolt on this side near the fender, and a 10mm bolt through these pieces of metal. It's got to go through two pieces of metal, one for this cross brace and one for this bracket here, and then into its We'll tighten those all down to 9 Newton meters. Okay, and then the last piece is this top brace. You just kind of feed it through, and then it sits right on there, and then a 10mm bolt goes on top. And again, 9 Newton meters for this one. Okay, because this battery is new, and it's probably been sitting on the Walmart shelf for several months. Actually, it's labeled 5/25, so it's from May, so it's at least a month old. It's probably been sitting there for that long, and so I'm going to charge it up before I get in the car and actually turn the car on. To do that, to charge the XT6 battery, they don't want you to plug the terminals or the connectors of your charger directly to the negative post of the battery. They want you to go from the positive to the post. So this post right here is for charging. It's for the battery. It actually says on it ground right here. So there's a nice post right here, so use that. And then the positive has a little tab where you can get a good connection on that as well. And you can see here it shows that this battery, I just started charging it, and it's at it was at 12.54 volts, which is probably enough volts to start it and would work just fine, but it's showing 77%. So I'm just going to charge it here in the garage up to 100%, and then I'll start using the battery. Okay, so I let the battery charge up completely, and then I got in it, and everything seems to be working fine. When I turned the car on, it even remembered all of my presets on the radio. It remembered both the drivers that we had stored, and it looked like the compass had to calibrate itself because there was a CAL message at the top of the instrument cluster, but then the N for north popped up a little bit later, so that seemed like it automatically reset itself. And it looks like I said, all the settings are retained, so I didn't have to mess with anything to get it to store or save any of the computer stuff. There was some questions online whether or not you need to do a BMS battery management system reset for Cadillac XT6. I couldn't find any information. But I did find like I said, I did find the workshop manual for the XT5, and that did not list anything as far as resetting any battery systems. And so it looks like I don't need that. It looks like it doesn't have one. So everything seems to be working. And so that's how you change out your own battery and save yourself $250 from the dealership. And it's a very easy job.